Yo, 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 what's poppin', y'all? What's poppin'? How y'all doing? Y'all know what it is. Coffee, donuts for grown-ups. Best way to wake up. You know, it's like having Folgers in your cup. What's going on, y'all? Throwback Thursday, hump day, Thursday right here. Coffee, donuts for grown-ups with yours truly, the greatest man alive. Smash the like button as you come in, or if you come in, you get the notification, come on in. But y'all see that right there? Everybody talk about the greatest. Everybody talk about who's the greatest. Well, I don't dispute and argue with anybody because everybody has their opinion. You respect that. You respect my gangster. Respect my gangster. Y'all see my screen? Respect my gangster. I got hot grease, Mr. Gumbo. What's up, Mr. Gumbo? How you doing, man? Hopefully your Thursday's getting what it is that's going on, but I'm gonna tell you a lot that we are going through and that we are seeing and that we are witnessing in this very moment in time. I'm gonna tell you, there's some things I could never even dream of in my wildest imagination, man. Look at them, they still talking about faking the funk, going up to the moon. Oh, come on, please. Then we go through this back in the 1960s. Like, are you kidding me? Now they faking the funk about going back to the moon again. Deja vu. Yes, I remember this as a kid the very first time, you know? And they made this big deal all around the nation that, you know, man traveled to the moon. And all these years been going by, we know that we've been lied to. And we accept it. That's right, coffee and no daggone donut, bro. And I'm like, here we go. Then they got these five. Well, how many women it was? 5, 6 women. I don't remember the count. I don't remember the body count. But that don't even matter. And then all of a sudden, and Gail King is in it. You got all these women and all that, and they faking the funk like they went up into daggone space. Those back Thursday, they said this back in 67, 68. Ain't a daggone thing happened. Damn, they always got to keep on putting out lies and deceptions when everything been a lie since day one. But man, we ain't got nothing. We got more better days behind us than we have good days, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it ain't too much to reminisce about today, but we got so much to talk about far as yesterday. You know those people, they say, bring yesterday back. And then you know these newer people, I'm not going to call them YNs, I'm just going to call them the young world. Because I don't look at anybody as being a nig, you understand? What's going on? Jason Bender, yes, you do have something you had. Mr. from 18 wearing all that fancy jewelry. Yes, remember the 18? Yo, remember the 18. That's what I'm talking about, Throwback Thursday. Remember the 18? And to me, you know, Mr. T was the first one that was, you know what I mean, draped out with the truck out jewelry. What's going on, Mr. Sports Prods? Mr. T was the first one that was draped out with the chunk out jewelry back in the day, which was one of my favorite shows, B.A. Baracus. And you remember B.A. Baracus? He was afraid of heights. He would not get on no plane, and they had to, you know, sedate him and all that. Man, sometimes I feel like sedating half of the brains of these people today because of the nonsense they come out your mouth. But that was one of my favorite TV shows back then. Television ain't even a daggone same no more, bruh. Mike Wim in the building, what's going on? Everything changed but remained the same. This is what I'm talking about, Mr. Gumbo. Same chicken noodle soup, except for it's in a different bowl, my guy. Why oh my has times passed. We don't even get to talk about anything good anymore. That's why we always gotta reminisce, taking a trip back down memory lane. Go listen to Nas, because I'm gonna tell you, today's world and time ain't really giving us too many good things to think about. Ain't really giving us too many things to think about, even down to the daggone sports. When the last time you talked about an actual fight? You say, I see you in the big dumb. Yeah, you know, I'm representing my favorite fighter, man. I love Sugar Ray Robinson. That's the greatest of all time in my book. That's the greatest of all time in my book. Mr. Pound for Pound. Everybody talk about pound for pound, but let me tell y'all something, which y'all always crying every day about pound for pound. Pound for pound wouldn't exist if it wasn't for that man on the screen, Mr. Sugar Ray Robinson, that knocked out over 100 and something goddamn men. Let me see if any of these fighters can do that today. These fighters today can't do nothing that the fighters did back in the day. That's why I call it Throwback Thursday. That's why everybody, every week, every day, when you talk about boxing, today's fighters, they always got to compare them with back in the day. And half of these jokers comparing today's fighters to the back in the day fighters, and they wasn't even around to see them. Ain't even gonna watch enough film, man. So boxing is definitely not the way that it used to be. I remember as a kid, you was able to watch championship boxing on national television. You was able to watch big fights on national television back then. No pay-per-view, none of that bull crap. None of that, but now they want to charge you out your ass and all that. How you doing? I know you here for. Been a minute, I ain't seen you. Been good? What that here? Upper buildings?
Yeah, right terminal.
Okay, oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's been, oh man.
Nice to see you, bro.
Yeah, same here, man. So like I was saying, ABC, CBS, NBC. We didn't have no goddamn pay-per-view this, pay-per-view that. We ain't had none of that. And then it was easy to put these daggone fights together between these fighters. You know, you say let's fight, they say let's go. Now today, everybody want to put an extra price on them. I thought, you know, when you get an opportunity, you're supposed to go not. And then you being selective about the opportunity. That's what's wrong with today's fighter, and y'all constantly on an everyday basis want to take a trip back down memory lane and want to be comparing today's fighters to yesterday's fighters. They totally cut different. You got some of these fighters that they only fight once every 16. You know what I mean? Like, let's think about it. Throwback Thursday. You give me a fight that sticks to your head to today. It's so many fights that we could talk about that. And then there's never a title included. It's never about a belt. This is why I got to reminisce, man, because boxing today ain't really giving me too much. You had good television shows, you had good boxing. Pay-per-view type of... It's not even worth the price. It's not even worth the price. You remember, you used to get boxing maybe, 2 or 3 days out of the week? 2 or 3 nights out of the week? You know, if you start from Sunday, you know, Worldwide of Sports, that's Sunday. Then you got Tuesday night fights that came on Tuesday. Fighters, they weight classes, who would be their toughest competition, who wouldn't be their toughest competition. But I love it. I mean, think about it. Give me a fight that you've seen that is just gives you I just remember this fight all day. Like one of the most memorable fights for me was Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns, their first fight. Cause you know they fought a couple of times. That first fight between Sugar Ray Leonard and Hitman Hearns. Oh my goodness, that fight, Sugar Ray Leonard actually lost some eyesight from that fight against Tommy Hearns. Sugar Ray Leonard in the later rounds and in the championship rounds had to steal the show, which he was good for doing. You know, it ain't how you start, it's how you end. So he was great at coasting through the first half of the round. Shit for yesterday, that didn't get signed. Like, he ain't signing these things, man. One of my memorable fights, I'm telling you, Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns, the first fight. We talked about that. Matter of fact, we actually did a essay on that fight. This is how boxing was so good back in the day, when everybody was involved. When you can go to school and you'll have a conversation about boxing with the teachers, with the faculty, because everybody was watching the sport. He said, Tommy Hearns is my favorite fighter of all time, and ain't a bad one. That's not a bad one. Hitman Hearns is one of the baddest that ever laced up the gloves. So when him and Sugar Ray got it on for the first time, and you know, he had Sugar eyes sitting on dubs. He had Sugar Ray Leonard eyes sitting on goddamn dubs, baby. You know what I mean? Dub on top of dub on type of dub. You know what I mean? So that was a very great fight. So we always seen fights like that. Couldn't wait to see the second fight. We don't get stuff like that anymore. Now when we sit here, we do recaps on fights. It's not like a good cook, you know, because there's always a lot of people protecting their favorite fighters' goddamn feelings and all that. Come on, bring boxing back, make boxing great again. I'm talking about today's fighters. Ain't nobody doing nothing great. Y'all want to talk about some daggone boxing? You know, guys that's willing to put it out there, risk it all. I got throwback fights from here to eternity. One of the best jabbers ever, Tommy Hearns. One of the best jabbers ever, and one of the strongest jabbers, because he can actually really put someone on a backbone with a straight jab. So that it was always good to see Tommy Hearns in any other fight, fighting anyone. Then I got another throwback that don't get talked about much in boxing. Then this is one fight for me I gotta talk about on Throwback Thursday, one of my favorite matchups. Boom Boom Ray Mancini versus the Jamaican pit bull and Livingston Bramble. And I'm surprised there's so many boxing heads that don't know about Livingston Bramble, but we talking about Livingston Bramble today, who just passed not too long ago. He got his wings, he moved on to another dimension. But damn, who remember that fight? You know, and Ray Mancini had just not too long ago came back from not too long ago. It was right around the time when he fought Jim Kudo. Yeah, Bramble was the bull. Underrated Darkness in the building. What's going on, bro? Hold on. I gotta tighten my man Underrated Darkness up. I gotta get my brother right. There we go. Underrated. Matter of fact, Underrated, I mess with you like that, cat. So you get one of those, my brother. Yeah, it's Livingston Bramble. Come on, man. Livingston Bramble was that guy. And like I said, when it comes to Throwback Thursday, you tell me any fight that comes to your mind, throw it out there. If you haven't watched the fight, go back, pull that fight up. Boo Boo Ray Mancini fighting Livingston Bramble, the real pit bull, not Pit Bull Cruz, the real pit bull. Used to walk to the ring with his goddamn pit bull. Shout out to Livingston Bramble that always came to fight. That's one of my favorite fights. Throwback Thursday, it ain't a fight today that you can say that come close to the performance of that. Amazing things. That was a hell of a fight. You know, Boo Boo Ray Mancini, you know, he unalive somebody in the ring, you know, it happens. Also, I'm gonna give y'all another guy that was one of my favorite fighters. It didn't matter who he got in the ring with. Who remembers Michael Carbajal? Throwback Thursday. If you don't know none of these names that I'm mentioning, take two and call me in the morning. See, because since there's not enough current boxing to talk about, we could damn sure talk about some throwback, because we need the memories. The way boxing is treating us right now, we need memories to talk about. Because that's all they talk about, the same old fighters and be hating this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear none of that stuff. If y'all can't cook and give us something different every day instead of talking about the same fighters or talking about fighters that are inactive. Talking about fighters that are inactive, that ain't got nothing on, we don't need to be keeping that alive. But man, I'm telling y'all, Throwback Thursday, man, listen, I could run it down match after match, and then a lot of these fighters wasn't even big names. They were big, but they wasn't big names. So you didn't have to have try to force a star-studded fight card. You know, you're a promoter, it was easy to get good matchups out there. That's why you had guys like John the Beast Mugambi. Who remember the Beast Mugambi? Who gave everybody a whole lot to work with. John the Beast Mugambi. Oh, Sandy said. Yeah, John the Beast Mugambi. Yeah, John the Beast Mugambi. That was my guy. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, I got John the Beast Mugambi, Underrated Darkness. I got him in my and I'm gonna do one when I give out my entire rankings and stuff. But I got John Mugambi in my top of all time. I got him in my top 20 middleweights of all time. You got to have him in there. What's up, Mike? What's going on with you, man? You know, top of the morning with your coffee and donuts for grown-ups, man, you know. Throwback Thursday, let's talk about some old great fighters. Y'all see the screen? My man Sugar Ray Robinson. Hell, what? Come on, man. John the Beast Mugambi was giving people fits. Giving people fits. I think one of my favorite fights was between him and my man Donald Curry, man. That was another one. Donald Curry was another one, man. What? And these was guys that we used to see for free. It didn't matter who these gentlemen got in the ring with. They was coming to perform. As the late great Mills Lane say, the late great referee, the GOAT of refs, my man Mills Lane said, let's get it on. You know, let's get it on. And guys was coming to get it on. You know what I'm saying? 103 knockouts in his career. Hey, you know what? Underrated Darkness. See, they can't talk about that. See, they be talking about how these guys is killers. Like I said moments ago, you ain't got nobody knocking guys out like that in today's boxing. Yes, sir. Donald the Cobra Curry. Woo-wee! I'm trying to tell you, man. Mr. Michael second to none. Matter of fact, I just watched a playlist of Michael Nunn. I mean, this guy put together a playlist about maybe 6 of Michael Nunn's fight. Michael Nunn was something with something you didn't want to play with. Oh yeah, Michael second to none. Man, imagine if Michael Nunn wouldn't have got into trouble, what his career could have actually really planned out to be if it wasn't for him going to jail, man. Listen, Michael second to none was a very scary guy. Very scary guy. Long, very lengthy, got snap, crack on, pop in his punches, who also can jab and he'll uppercut the ish out of you. He'll wake you up. He definitely will wake you up. This is what I'm talking about. Throwback Thursday. We ain't talking about none of these new fighters today. I'ma get at a break. I'm tired of talking about the same old nonsense. When we got a whole bunch of legends out here that's not being spoken upon, that made the great sport of boxing great, that we all love and hate. Michael second to none. And yo, Michael Nunn wanted a piece of everybody. But if it's one fight that we didn't wind up getting with Michael Nunn, there's a few of them, because like I said, he fought a whole lot of competition. But Dr. Mark in the building. What's going on, Grand Rising? High vibrations, man. Real mellow frequencies going on. You know what I mean? We gotta put that out into the world. People, I don't care what you went to. Learn to increase your chakras, man. It's very important. Very important. Listen, man. See, and when they talk about moving up and down and weight, this guy going ahead, he undisputed in this weight class, undisputed in that weight class. Man, get up on out of here, because it ain't even too many guys in today's boxing that I really give credit to when it comes to undisputed. Because they definitely didn't do it like the throwback days. You know what I'm saying? The great days. You know what I'm saying? So, Henry Armstrong, who was, 3 different weight classes at the same damn time. Like the song, at the same damn time, at the same damn time. You can't say that about today's fighters. You know what I mean? Oh, they doing it gradually. No, Henry Armstrong was fighting in multiple weight classes at one goddamn time. Not one by one. You ever heard of that in boxing? Or we talk about, y'all, they want to talk about, he got this belt, he got that belt, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Henry Armstrong had belts in multiple weight classes at the same damn time, and he was a little guy. Shout out to the little guys. Shout out to Henry Armstrong for letting the world know that, listen, you ain't got to be big to do big things. You understand what I'm saying? It would be no fighter would be able to do what Henry Armstrong did, who I think that was a good representation of pound for pound behind Mr. Pound for Pound himself. PGH Big Dog in the building. What's up, my guy? Throwback Thursday. You see it? We talking boxing. We talking throwback boxing. We not talking about these new guys. I don't want to talk about none of them. But I will say this though about the new guys. Shout out to the prospects. Shout out to Keyshawn Davis, who's a prospect with a belt. We're not going to make it seem like it's anything different than that, because that's how bad boxing is right now. You have prospects with goddamn belts. They never even got a chance to become contenders. So shout out to Keyshawn Davis. Shout out to the young Abdullah Mason. And shout out to Shushu Carrington, who's becoming ambassador. Arguing about the same old nonsense, who want to smoke, who don't want to smoke. Josh Sanders in the building. We already know that so many fighters back in the day wanted to smoke. See, the fighters back in the day wanted to smoke. That's why these men was fighting so often. That's why they was fighting so much. They didn't care who they got in the ring with. They didn't care who they got in the ring with. Who met my man in North Indian, Michael Carbajal? I'm saying Michael Carbajal was my guy. Michael Carbajal was my guy. Oh, man, he was nice. Who remember Michael Carbajal? You know what I'm saying? Man, listen. Throwback Thursday boxing talk. I think I'm going to start doing that every Thursday from now on. When I do coffee and donuts for grown-ups, we doing Throwback Thursday boxing talk. We just gonna talk about some great fighters, some great matches, everything from back in the day. Who else? You know who else was? Oh man, I'm gonna tell you a fighter that used to give me goddamn fits, man. Jorge Paez, man. Jorge Paez, the circus king. Grove, man, oh my God, Jorge Paez, y'all know Jorge Grove, man, oh my God, Jorge Paez, y'all know Jorge Paez, but keep the Batman cut. Jorge Paez got in that ring. He didn't play around. Jorge Paez came to entertain and be insane in the membrane. Oh my gosh, one of my most memorable fights. And I'm gonna say probably favorite fights, even though I didn't really care for the end result with Jorge Paez fought Pennsylvania's own Calvin Grove. Yeah, we talking Throwback Thursday. We talking about throwback fights, man. You know what I mean? We talking throwback fights, and I remember when Jorge Paez fought Calvin Grove from Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. Calvin Grove was alright too. But then when he got in there that night with Jorge Paez, I said, man, this not gonna be good. So it's not gonna be good at all, man. I was upset, man, but it was definitely a hell of a fight. So if I say some fights that you guys don't know about, this is why it's for educational purposes. Also for people, we may mention names, we may mention fights, and they may not know. So we mention names. If I mention the name or they put it in the chat and you're not sure about it, but you're a boxing fan, hey, you might need to go do your homework on whoever that we speaking of that you don't have any knowledge of. And that was a hell of a fight. Jorge Paez always got in the ring and got busy. He fought, oh my gosh, he had a nice resume too. Jorge Paez had a nice resume too, man. So, like I said, he got in there with every and anybody. Oh my goodness, let's talk about my man Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly, you know who I always thought Kevin Kelly kind of reminded me of, y'all? In a way, Kevin Kelly is a combination for looks wise. Kevin Kelly kind of remind me of Jam Master Jay. And Jam Master Jay and Martin Lawrence was relatives. You see what I'm saying? That's the kind of look that he gave me, man. And he was nice. Kevin Kelly was definitely nice. Yes, sir. Good, man. Kevin Kelly was nice. Oh my God, he was nice. Yo, D-Free in the building. AD, man, good job cooking last night, man, when you came on. I was over there Dub for the whole show, watching everything. It's always a great cook when you come around, D-Free. But yeah, D-Free, I wanted to talk about Throwback Thursdays because just mentoring old fights, fighters from back then, because today's guys are just, I need a violin session, you know what I mean? Because of these guys, they make me fall asleep. Good morning, how you doing? They not as entertaining as back then. Like I said, as a kid, 6, 7 years old, you get to see like a pay-per-view type of fight on regular TV. It was awesome. It was the best thing since cartoons. The creative guy, what's up, Master? How you doing? Transformers? Oh, you can throw Transformers in there too. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Flawless mentality. I don't like you in that gray, my guy. I will take care of you in a sec, my doc. I don't like seeing you in the gray right there. I'm gonna hook my mans on up. Gotta hook up the doc. What's going on? You see that? You see that face? Do that face
That's
look?
a boxer.
Yeah, what boxer? Ain't that's a boxer? That's the greatest of all time to me. Sugar Ray Robinson, Mr. Pound for Pound. That's the greatest of all time to me.
Yeah.
Pound for pound would not exist if it wasn't for this man. So you see how that panned out for him? Yeah, I'm talking of Throwback Thursday fights and stuff like that, man. Just giving these people some education. Don't fall for Satan's spirits. Oh, never that, bruh. You gotta listen, let me tell you something. You gotta be divine in your own temple. You know what I mean? Listen, I feel you, nothing but high vibrations and high frequencies over here. You know what I mean? I'm like that group, I forgot the name of that. Had that song, Riding High. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you gotta ride high. Willie Pep. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Willie Pep. Should we talk about Mr. Willie Pep? But I know y'all saying Willie Pep. What is that? He's not one of the Pep brothers. He's not Manny Mo and Jack. I'm gonna let you know right now when we talk about Willie Pep, he ain't Manny Mo or Goddamn Jack. Oh, I forgot. Well, y'all be talking about the master of defense, the secretary of defenses. And y'all talk about Shakur Stevenson don't get hit like that. So when we want to talk about crazy, I mean crazy, like slicker than the oil spill footwork, slivery like a snake or something, or a reptile, man. Willie that pep, Willie keep that pep in his step. Willie Pep probably would gave me a headache if I was a boxer back in that time. I'm gonna tell y'all, go watch some Willie Pep film when y'all want to be talking about who's slick, who's very defensive. Go watch Willie Pep, he would give you a headache. Listen, my great-grandfather used to really just he used to throw stuff around because Willie Pep would just give people a headache. You'd be sitting there, and then four or five rounds then went by, and then 4 or 5 rounds, this man got hit total with 3 times. Like, he really was something else. They get on a bicycle? Oh shit, I guess he was on a motorcycle. Willie Pep was a slick guy, man. Yes, he was. He probably was the slick. Cause I to see film on Willie Pep, I was like, man, come on. Man, come on. Need that positive message. Yes, all prophets, messages, peace be upon them. Have faith, yes, in the Almighty. Yes. Salute to my man Clarence McLean, aka Mr. No Dump Zone podcast. Listen, this great brother right here. Hey, see, man, we talking about throwback fighters. Y'all see my greatest of all time. Y'all see Mr. Pound for Pound. So, when y'all see me on these YouTube streets, y'all respect my gangster. I ain't trying to hear nothing. So, we're in that mood. See, man, we talking about throwback fighters. Salute to my, yes, sir. Also, when we talk about throwback fighters, I'll give y'all another one. That was one of my guys I used to watch growing up. So I talk about Beast Magami, talk about Don D.C. Curry, Jorge Paez, I tell you what, Tommy Hearns was something else, Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran was a very scary guy, because I said, who is this little short, little big-head man running around doing all this crazy stuff to people? Yes, Duran was the guy, but I'm going to give y'all a fighter that, we don't talk about that much, because that's what I love about boxing. Is so much to talk about. So many great men had put those gloves on and laced up those boots and got in that square and gave it all that they got. So when we talk about throwback fighters, put some respect on those OGs, because they definitely was a one of a kind. And like I said, man, they was slick, man. Yes, yeah, I think Duran turned pro in what, 1966? I think it was that far back, man. I'm starting to tell my age if I remember that. How you doing? I think it was 66, 2 years later after I was born. Yeah, 2 years. I think it was 66, 67. Right, man. Sonny Liston, my grandfather used to like him a whole lot. Yeah, Sonny Liston was definitely good. I tell y'all what, remember, I'm gonna give y'all one that's gonna mess y'all heads up a little bit. Remember, I got one for you. He said Sonny Liston. Now, you gotta be a diehard to remember this, and this is a Philly guy, Frank the Animal Fletcher. Frank the Animal Fletcher, who is who you would consider in boxing, when we talk about journeymen or guys that just give you the worst and the hardest night of your career. Frank the Animal Fletcher, straight out of Philadelphia, straight out of Southwest Philly. Frank the Animal Fletcher, who came from a boxing family. Now we may remember his brother Troy Two Guns Fletcher, who pretty much had a nice career, but being in the streets and everything really kept them Fletcher brothers from actually, he wasn't afraid to get in the ring with anybody. But yes, my man Two Guns, yeah, it was definitely nice. Ali and Holyfield, oh yeah. I like Evander Holyfield. I think the very first fight that I seen, the very first time I seen Evander, he was at cruiserweight. He was running through the cruiserweight division when I first seen Evander. I can't remember who he was fighting at that time, but he was fighting. He was on an undercard of a big fight, and that's when I first found out about Evander Holyfield. Yes, that's right, and that's when I first found out about him in cruiserweight, because back then, cruiserweight was a division where you can watch it. It was some entertainment up there. So yeah, the first time I seen him was at cruiserweight, right before I got to see him, go through all the steps that's necessary to become undisputed. So Evander Holyfield definitely I call him the ultimate warrior of the sport of boxing because he gets in the ring in blood, sweat, tears, and it don't even matter. So when we talk about throwback fighting, I love to talk about Evander Holyfield, man. Evander Holyfield, when you say accepting all smoke, well, you know he got dark lungs because there wasn't no smoke that he would run the opposite way from. I love Evander Holyfield. I would like to see Evander Holyfield. I wish he was one of those guys that can go to different weight classes like we've seen a few fighters do. But just imagine if he could have. Just imagine Evander Holyfield as a middleweight. Imagine Evander Holyfield as a middleweight. Evander Holyfield as a middleweight. Oh my gosh, that would have been like, I mean, and the marvelous one was already a problem. But could you imagine Evander Holyfield fighting as a middleweight? Then you would have had two bald-headed assassins at middleweight that you had to worry about. The marvelous one, and also the great Evander Holyfield. Get it down for the crown. He punch for punch, headbutt for headbutt, forearm for forearm. Smash my like button. Or smash the dislike button. It don't matter. It do the same thing. As far as I'm concerned, listen, Evander Holyfield was something else. But since we talking about heavyweights, let's keep this throwback Thursday on the heavyweight division for a few minutes. Since we talk about Evander Holyfield and we had some heavyweights. Oh, y'all want to talk about heavyweights? Mr. Smoking Burt Cooper. Raise your hand, Mr. Burt Cooper. Oh. Mr. Burt Cooper, if it's anybody that should be in the Hall of Fame just because of blood, sweats, and tears, and guts and glory, I think Smoking Burt Cooper is the perfect candidate just for that. Oh, Burt Cooper, he gives everybody a headache. He gave everybody a headache. When we talk about we want to see fighters battle tested, we want to see what their heart is really like. Burt Cooper always put it on the line. And Burt Cooper was also known as, you know, the man that'll mess up your money at, at the bookies. Burt Cooper will mess your money up because you'll easily pick somebody over him just because of the name. And Burt Cooper get in there and give you fits. I mean, this is what boxing is about. We talk about throwback boxing. This is what boxing is about. And he also started at cruiserweight too. Yes, underrated darkness. Prime Mike. Listen, Prime Mike Tyson. Today's heavyweights is easy food for Prime Mike Tyson. Listen, let me tell you something. The Mike Tyson, after his prime, would have did a lot of damage to the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? Yes, he went to, Burt Cooper went to heavyweight and did an excellent job. I'm telling you, he always put on an excellent performance. He didn't, and he gave every fighter, that he was in the ring with some doubt. I mean, one of my favorite fights, we just got finished talking about Evander Holyfield. One of my favorite fights, Burt Cooper and Evander Holyfield. That was crazy work. Oh, Kid Norton, the Hercules? Come on, man. What more can we say about the Black Hercules? Mandingo, the movie, all right? Kid Norton was kind of a star back then, but yes, the Black Hercules, Kid Norton, was definitely something. Kid Norton was dope. What about, hold up, I got one for you. Wilfred Benitez. Wilfred Benitez was another one. Yes. That was another fighter, man. Wilfredo Benitez. What y'all know about that? Huh? Wilfredo Benitez. Wow. Wilfredo Benitez. What y'all know about that? Oh my goodness. I give y'all another one. What was my man name that remember with I'm not about to bring my man up, but Wilfred Benitez was dope. But what about my man that we all call the true master of defense? Y'all know who the true master defense is in boxing. So y'all know who I'm about to talk about next. So without me saying the name, y'all can say it for me. Let's talk about the real master of defense, who is known as the #1 master of defense in your honest boxing heart. Because I think we all know. But let's talk about it. Huh? Yes, Benitez. See, people need to go do their work on Benitez. Benitez had a nice career. Oh, go look at the resume, man. Just pull up a fight. Just go pull up a fight, Wilfred Benitez. What was your one of your most memorable fights by Wilfred Benitez? Underrated Darkness? Cause I got a few, but since we y'all get on that, but now we got to talk about the real master, the Secretary of Defense. Sugar Ray Robinson, the great. Oh, Dr. Mark, that's my hero. There we go, Mr. Gumball. I was waiting for somebody to do it. I was waiting for somebody to do it, man. Yes, the true Secretary of Defense, no disrespect to boxing's greatest defensive fighters. But no one, and I mean no one under the sun or the moon could come even close to Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. And then you got people talking about some of these fighters today, the reason why they ain't got their chin tested yet because they just too good to get hit. What? It's not a skill set in the sport of boxing that's too good to not get hit. You understand what I'm saying? That's the master, the Secretary of Defense right there. And we just got finished talking about Willie Pep. But when we talking about the master of defense, the master of defense, what? Oh my gosh, in his skill set. All in his skill set. We talking about skill set, we talking about skills. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker all day long. What are y'all talking about? And they damn sure blessed. And I mean all of them right now. I don't care who is who at 135 and 140 and all that. Listen, they lucky. That's an understatement. They are mega blessed that Sweet Pea ain't fighting with this generation of fighters today. Let me just say that. You know, as I sip on this coffee that I know the haters wish they could have doused it with something in there, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna work. I keep the antidote in my body. That's why I can't be broken down, you clowns. That's why you can't break me. See, I come ready. See, I come with the antidote in me, you see what I'm saying? So when you try it, it ain't gonna work. Oh, yeah. Underrated Darkness. Hell yeah. Benitez against Carlos. Oh, yeah. That was a good one. I'm going to tell y'all who was another. We had so many. We talked about Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly was dope. What about. Here's a trivia question for y'all, real quick. Sweet Pea. When he went for his first title defense, and they didn't give it to him. Who remember that fighter named that Sweet Pea got his first robbery when he went to fight for the title? Who remember his name? Okay, you gonna be talking about Ken Norton today? All right, cool. So when I get the notification, I will be over there. I love talking throwback boxing. I love it. Exactly, and Sweet Pea can hit you anywhere and anytime he simply wanted to. Oh yeah, he was a part of that Dream Team, 1984 Olympic team. Oh my gosh, what? It was loaded. There will never be another boxing team, U.S. boxing team ever assembled like that again. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We would never see that replicated again. I don't even think they even tried. It would be hard. Chavez, now with Chavez, I like Chavez, right? But here's the thing with Cesar Chavez, right? By the time Chavez came over here to the Americas, he was down there like what? Maybe like not that far from 100 fights. I think by the time he came over here, he already had about 50 or 60 fights, and that's off the top of my head. But I think I'm right on the same region. So I always wonder what would Chavez record look like if he would have came over to America a little sooner, a couple years sooner. But he definitely something to watch. Yeah, oh yeah, when they did him dirty, man. You know what? It's they did him dirty. But I tell you what, they did my man Sweet Pea dirty because Sweet Pea beat Oscar. They did Sweet Pea dirty. Sweet Pea beat Chavez. Y'all remember that? When Pernell Whitaker came out and it was announced all over the world that he was going to get in there with the dangerous body puncher and Cesar Chavez, and everybody was like, oh no, the technician, Sweet Pea, don't do it. Look at what Chavez did to your boy, your stablemate Meldrick Teller, who don't get a lot of respect, and I think we should be talking about Meldrick Teller a whole lot more. Just don't talk about Meldrick Teller when it comes to Chavez, because Meldrick Teller was more than that Chavez, okay? So if y'all only can talk about Meldrick Teller and Chavez, then you ain't no Meldrick Teller damn fan, because that's the only fight you can come up with. Meldrick Teller, probably, arguably, one of the fastest hands you ever seen in boxing. Those hands was very fast. All right, so yeah. Meldrick Teller was out here doing his damn thing, and his hands was super fast. Y'all talk about man, he had hand speed. Okay. Now, somebody stop me when I start capping. But if you know, you know. Meldrick Teller probably, I mean, and of course, you know, people would say, you know, different eras, genres, this, that, who was the fastest hands. You know, that's something that's always debatable, but studying boxing, not watching, studying the sport. Yeah, Meldrick Teller is one of the fastest set of hands I've ever seen in my life. And I think his hand speed, he was faster than a lot of guys. His hands were super fast. You know, that the only thing he went wrong with in the Chavez fight was standing in front of him. Because he could have got away from, he could have avoided Chavez all night. He didn't even have to take about 50%, 60% of that punishment that he took from Chavez. He could have easily got away from that, but he wanted to show the world, I'm not afraid of nobody. And sometimes too much heart is not a good heart. Know what I mean? Sometimes too much heart is not a good heart if it makes any sense to you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I hit you up, Grinder. D-Ray, live on the drive. What's up, D-Ray? My God, D-Ray, we talking throwback fighting, man. I'm telling y'all, Meldrick Teller, hands was fast as he had the fastest hands in his Olympics. Oh yeah, he had the fastest hands in the entire Olympics. Let's talk about it, man. Yes, he did. his hands is super fast. Super fast. Yeah. But I think Mark Breland was like the only one that his Mark Breland was pretty cool, but I think Mark Breland, I don't know exactly what happened with Mark Breland, but kind of fell off. But that whole team was good. I just had to bring up him real quick. But telling you, man, Mildred was a problem. I'm trying to, my head is stuck on the Pernell fight. But it didn't come back to me. Also, who else we had? Who remember? Who remember? A Cuban fighter that was pretty good back then. He was pretty much good. Wish I would have seen this guy fight a little more. Shout out to the Cuban School of Boxing. My man Joel Casamayor was a good one. Casamayor was a good guy too. But yeah, Casamayor was very nice. Speaking of Casamayor, whenever I think about Casamayor, he kinda give me how about this guy? He gives me he give me Azuma Nelson vibes, the professor. Azuma Nelson, throwback fighter, Azuma Nelson, the professor. Y'all remember Azuma Nelson? Him and Carbajal kinda, I mean not Carbajal, but him and my guy Casamayor kinda had a resemblance to one another. But man, what we talking about? What's going on, yo?
What's up, Zay?
Ain't they good?
Yeah. We got DJ back for a little bit.
Yeah, I seen DJ come in, that's what's up. Yeah, y'all, you good?
Yeah, I can't complain.
Hell yeah. He said he had the fight one against Chavez. Keep on moving. Sometimes fight is hot, can get you in trouble in boxing. You know that, brother Crush. Yup, that's what happened, man. He got hot. He definitely got hot. Definitely got hot, man. I'm telling you, Casamayor was nice, but man, Azuma Nelson, the professor, man. Azuma Nelson. I ain't talking to boxing with these kids no more, Stan. They too wet behind the ears. Azuma Nelson, oh my God, he was, oh my, man, this man. Yo, when we talk about a guy that was fundamentally sound all the way around, Azuma Nelson is a perfect definition of that. He's definitely a good definition of that. Oh my God, Azuma Nelson was something else, man. He was a problem. I'm telling you, one of my favorite fights, him and Sweet Pea, man. That's one of the best fights I ever seen. And I think I'm gonna do one. You know, favorite matchups of all time or best matchups of all time. I am gonna do something on that. And you know, hopefully I'll do that sometime like on the weekend or something to where I have a few of you guys come up on the panel and cook with me about that. Cause that's something, because are we gonna be able to talk about these fighters of today? 20, 30, 40 years from now, if the planet is still going on, because we might be in a whole different time another 20, 30 years from now. How you doing, buddy? You know, Japan is already living life like the Jetsons over there, so you never know. You know, you never know with technology, you never know. But oh my God, Zuma Nelson was awesome, man. He definitely was a problem. Yes, he gave everybody a daggone problem, man. Yeah. Jesse James Leha. Oh man, oh my God, Jesse James Leha. Remember Jesse James Leha? We talking throwback. We talking throwback. Jesse James Leha. I just throw some names out there. Y'all tell me y'all. Jesse James Leha. How about the Marquez brothers? See, they don't talk about the Marquez brothers. Talk about Marquez, but the Marquez brothers. You know what I mean? Thanks, Chan. We need to collab. Yes, we will. Man, we all gonna collab, man. We all gonna collab. I need to do some new stuff anyway, so I'm looking to collab with some of you guys. I mean, we've been rocking for a few years, so you know we need to just get together on an all-star panel and get it on. Said Jesse James Leha also was a problem, did he? He did fight lightweight, brother. Yeah, yes he did. Yeah, Jesse James Leha, yeah, he fought that lightweight. Yup. He fought that lightweight. Then you have here we go. Here go one of our favorites. Johnny Tapia. Johnny Tapia. Yes, Johnny Tapia. What y'all know? What y'all know? Johnny Tapia. Ooh, there you go, D-Ray Live. Hey, D-Ray. There you go right there. Yes, sir, D-Ray. That's it. That's that joint right there. Roger, Mr. You don't know ish about boxing, Mayweather, and listen. Oh my gosh. Oh, now you know you just brought a tear to my eye because I'm so big on Roger Mayweather. Y'all don't know far as favorites. Listen to what I'm about to say to y'all. Far as favorites, he's so high up on my list, man. Roger Mayweather, the original Mamba, the original Black Mamba. He's so high up on my list. I don't care what anybody has to say. Boom Boom Man City, little bit before your time, Crush. Oh, here come my man, old school, Big Dog Willie. Hey, you right, Big Dog. You know, I was wet behind the ears. Somebody just told me about that guy, man. Boom Boom Mancini, man. Woohoo! Yeah, Boom Boom was nasty. Boom Boom was a nasty dude. What was the guy name that I keep on forgetting? This is when Sweet Pea tried to go for the very first, when he had his very first chance at a belt. And he won the fight, but they robbed him. What was my man name? I forgot his name, but listen, y'all, this is my time for coffee, donuts, for grown-ups. I appreciate y'all coming through. I will be back tomorrow with part 2 of the throwback. So y'all have a pretty good Thursday, and I will see you guys soon.